This week, Fox 45's cameras caught an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at a day in the life of Maryland's ICE agents.
That agency is on pace to set a record number of sex offender arrests this year, all here illegally. And Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor is breaking down the new stats and has more on the latest a person accused of being a criminal taken off the streets. Rebecca?
Kai and Maxine, after spending the full day with a team of ICE agents, what they tell me is that they believe their mission is often misunderstood, saying they're only out to arrest those who are suspected of and oftentimes have already been convicted of violent crimes, which is something we watched them do twice on Tuesday.
While the ultimate pursuit of immigration enforcement officers is the removal of non-citizens from the United States, they're not looking for just anyone, as was made clear during this arrest, captured by Fox 45's cameras. The man cuffed and taken into custody. A notorious drug dealer who ICE says has already been deported twice. Meanwhile, his wife is also believed to be undocumented, but ICE agents aren't after her.
We don't look for people who are non-criminals. We don't have the manpower for it. We don't have the jail space for it.
For Maryland's ICE director, Matthew Elliston, that puts sex offenders at the top of his target list.
We have many, many people we need to arrest that have hurt people. And we always prioritize those cases.
On Tuesday, the takedown of this convicted child rapist, marking the 105th sex offender arrested so far this fiscal year, which ends September 30th. That's on track to beat last year's 156 arrests, a record-breaking number, up 83% from the prior year.
Very proud to say that the Baltimore field office for the last 2 years leads the United States in the number of sex offenders arrested.
Although to Elliston, the true accomplishment isn't more arrests, it's less victims.
We're only out for the worst of the worst. So even some of the advocacy groups that used to give elected officials a really hard time about working with ICE, they've really dialed back as well, because they know what we're doing is also creating a safer place for the rest of the undocumented community. Right, that's the number one victim of crime of these, people who are here unlawfully, is the other undocumented community.
The shift in priorities and perception, in line with ICE's national Operation Predator, the agency's flagship initiative targeting child sex offenders. But back in Maryland, Elliston says that mission often hindered by a lack of cooperation with local jurisdictions across the state. Sanctuary policies, preventing many counties from holding inmates and handing them over to ICE, which was the case for at least 2 Baltimore County child sex offenders in the last year. Baltimore County Executive Johnny Olszewski adamant keeping them locked up could have led to legal ramifications.
We believe that we're following the law, and this should be applied to everyone.
People like the idea of oh yeah, well, we live in a sanctuary area. Well, if you renamed that and said, oh yeah, we live in an area where we don't turn over our inmates to ICE, the average voter would go, what do you mean you're not turning over inmates?
In making the feat of arresting more sex offenders than anyone else in the nation that much more impressive, Elliston says that the Baltimore field office is actually the smallest field office compared to anyone else in the nation. To put that into perspective for you, Elliston says that in LA, they have 5 times the amount of employees than we do here in Baltimore. Reporting live in Baltimore City, Rebecca Pryor, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.